didn't come with crashing, it didn't come with fire. It came on feet so soft and slow, it felt like a desire. It wrapped around my shoulders like a blanket in the cold. A gentle kind of sorrow that my heart could still hold. I thought loss would be a bruise, a sharp and violent thing, something that would break me, something that would sting. But this is just beside me, quiet as a friend, and holds my hand and whispers, this is not the end. It doesn't scream my name, it doesn't pull my hair. It's just across the table in your empty chair, and looks at me with kindness, with eyes that look like yours, and gently, slowly, softly opens closed doors. And gentle loves holds me the way you used to do. Not tight enough to keep me, but enough to see me through. It rocks me in the darkness, it sings me lullabies. It wipes away my tears with hands that look like your disguise. Gentle loves holds me when no one else is there, a phantom of your kindness, a ghost of all your care. It holds me, and it holds me, and it holds me still. The only way I feel you now, the only way I feel. I thought I'd fight the missing, I thought I'd rage at fate, I thought I cursed the universe for making me wait. But waiting feels different when the waiting holds you close, when the thing you're waiting for is the thing you miss the most. I talk to you in whispers, I tell you about my day, and the silence answers gently in its quiet way. It doesn't try to fix me, it doesn't try to mend, it just holds the space beside me, faithful to the end. It doesn't scream my name, it doesn't pull my hair. And gentle loss holds me the way you used to do. Not tight enough to keep me, but enough to see me through. It rocks me in the darkness, it sings me lullabies. It wipes away my tears with hands that look like your disguise. They told me grief would break me, they told me I would drown, that I'd be swallowed by the waves and pulled beneath the ground. But no one told me loss could be as tender as a touch, that I could miss you this much and still not hurt this much. It's like the rain that falls so soft you barely feel it's there, until you look around and see it's everywhere, it's everywhere. And it holds me, and it holds me. And gentle loss holds care. And it holds me, and it holds me, and it holds me still. The only way I feel you now, the only way I feel, the only way I feel. We started as a wildfire, burning bright and fast. Two hearts colliding in a moment we thought would always last. But fires need the feeding, and we got tired of the flame. We stopped reaching for each other, and the quiet slowly came. It wasn't one big ending, no slam door, no final fight. Just the space between us growing longer every night. Like two ships on the same ocean, slowly drifting apart. Still close enough to see each other, but far enough to break my heart. We still say I love you when we pass each other by, but the words have lost their current. They just hang there in the sky. We're going through the motions of a love that used to be. Two ghosts in the same house, too scared to set each other free. And hearts drift into quiet, now with thunder, not with rain. Just a slow and steady pull of two people growing separate, growing strange. They don't ask for permission, they don't want you, they'll depart. They just quietly start drifting until they're oceans apart. Hearts drift into quiet, and the quiet steals the sound of the only love that ever made me feel safe and found. They drift into the distance, they drift beyond the shore, and you're left standing on the beach, not loving anymore. I trace the lines upon your face when you think I'm not awake, and I wonder if you're dreaming of a different kind of ache. I wonder if you feel it too, this current pulling slow, this tide that's taking everything we built so long ago. We used to fill the silence with our hopes and with our fears. Now the silence just sits heavy, filling up the years. I reach for you in darkness and you're lying right beside, but the distance feels like oceans and I'm lost against the tide. We still say I love you when we pass each other by, and hearts drift into quiet, now with thunder, not with rain. Just a slow and steady pull of two people growing separate, growing strange. They don't ask for permission, they don't want you, they'll depart. They just quietly start drifting until they're oceans apart. I tried to build a lighthouse, I tried to send a signal bright to guide you back to harbor, to bring you home tonight. But you're too far out now, baby, you're beyond the reach of me. Just a silhouette upon the horizon, just a fading memory. And maybe drift there's nowhere left to hide. Drifting a quiet, and the quiet steals the sound of the only love that ever made me feel safe and found. They drift into the distance, they drift beyond the shore, and you're left standing on the beach, not loving anymore. Not loving anymore. I wake up to the silence where your breathing used to be. I reach across the mattress, but you're only memory. The pillow still holds the shape of where you used to lay, and I press my face into it just to feel you for a day. I close my eyes and concentrate. I pull you from the air. I fill my lungs with what we were, pretend that you're still there. It's the only way I make it through the hours before the dawn, before the world reminds me that the best parts of me are gone. I don't need photographs, I don't need your name, I just need the air around me to feel the same. I just need to breathe in deep and find you in the space, the only place I still can touch your face. And I'm breathing your memory, filling up my chest with every faded moment, with every unexpressed word that died upon my lips the day you walked away. I breathe you in to keep you close, I breathe you in to stay. I'm to care. I don't need photographs. I don't need your name. And I'm breathing your memory, filling up my chest with every fading moment, with every unexpressed word that died upon my lips the day you walked away. I breathe you in to keep you close. I breathe you in to stay. I'm breathing your memory. It's the air inside my lungs, the only proof I still exist, the only song my heart still sings. I'm breathing your memory, and I'll breathe it till I die, 'cause it's the only way I know to keep you alive. Because I'm breathing your memory, filling up my chest, every fading moment with every unexpressed word that died upon my lips the day you walked away. I breathe you in to keep you close. I breathe you in to stay. I'm breathing your memory. I'm breathing your memory. Consecrate forever. Because I'm breathing your memory, filling up my chest with every fading moment, with every unexpressed word that died upon my lips the day you walked away. I breathe you in to keep you close. I breathe you in to stay. I'm breathing your memory. It's the air inside my lungs, the only proof I still exist, the only song my heart still sings. I'm breathing your memory, and I'll breathe it till I die, 'cause it's the only way I know to keep you alive, to keep you alive. You sit across but feel so far, like a fading northern star. Your eyes don't look the way they did when love was something we both lived. I hear the silence in your voice, like leaving wasn't really a choice, just something slowly pulling you from everything we thought we knew. The bass beats soft inside my chest, a trembling truth I can't suppress. I feel the distance growing wide between your hand and mine tonight. I wanna ask you if it's real, but fear already knows the deal. Some answers live inside a glance before the words even get the chance. We don't say what's in our hearts, but quiet can tear love apart. I feel love breaking like glass in slow motion tonight. Every promise shaking under the weight of goodbye. I feel love breaking even before it was a silence much too deep. Your jacket rests beside the door, like it knows what's coming. More quiet witness to the truth that love is losing all its grooves. The violin cries soft again, a fragile echo of back then, of laughter worn and careless days before we started drifting away. I try to smile, pretend it's fine, like we still have a little time, but something fragile in your eyes already whispers our goodbye. We don't need to stay the end. Sometimes hearts already understand. I feel love breaking, like waves against the fading shore. Every heartbeat aching for what we were before. I feel love breaking, even in your touch, like holding on too tightly. Might still not be enough. If love is fragile, we were brave to carry it the way we gave. But even stars that shine so bright sometimes disappear from sight. The beat drops low, the room grows still. I let the silence say its will. Not every love is meant to stay, but every love still finds a way. I feel love breaking, but I won't turn away. Every tear it's making is proof we love this way. I feel love breaking, but I still believe that hearts can survive, even when they grieve. I keep them in a box beneath my bed. The words you said, the promises you fed me when the future was a golden thread, and I was too in love to see the dread. Forever written on a napkin from that night. I'll never leave, scratched into the candlelight. We'll build a life, whispered when the mood was right. Now I'll hold them in the darkness, hold them tight. They're just paper now, just ink, just fading lines, but they're the only proof that you were mine, the only proof that any of it mattered. Before our love came crashing down and shattered. I know I should let go, I know I should burn them all, but letting go of promises like learning how to fall. And trust the ground will catch you when the ground has disappeared, when the only thing that's left is everything you feared. And I hold broken promises like flowers made of glass. I hold them though they cut me, I hold them though they pass right through my fingers, bleeding right through my open hands, because they're all I have of you in these abandoned lands. I hold broken promises, I hold them to my chest. I hold them like a lover, I hold them like a guest who overstayed their welcome, but I can't ask them to leave, 'cause broken promises are all I have to believe, all I have to believe. All I have to believe. I found the ticket stubs from that trip we never took, the reservation at the restaurant in that little book you bought me for our anniversary, the one with empty pages where we were supposed to write our love through all the ages. I found the lease agreement for shared, the dark breed we had picked out, the name we almost dared to give to our first child. In conversations late at night, now just another promise that died before the light. I hold them all so gently, like they're made of porcelain. Like if I hold them long enough, you might come back again. You might come back again. I know I should let go, I know I should burn them all. And I hold broken promises like flowers made of glass, and I hold them though they cut me. I hold them though they pass right through my fingers, bleeding right through my open hands, because they're all I have of you in these abandoned lands. And I hold them broken promises, I hold them to my chest. I hold them like a lover, I hold them like a guest who overstay their welcome, but I can't ask them to leave, cause broken promises are all I have to believe. All I have to believe. They say that promises are meant to be kept or to be broken, that every word unspoken finds a home in what was spoken. But my home is full of echoes of the things you swore were true, and I'm just a curator of a museum built for you, a museum of the almost, a gallery of the could have been. I walk these halls alone at night again and again and again. I trace the glass where your vows live, I press my lips to the display, hoping if I love them hard enough, they won't fade away. Because I hold broken promises of power. I hold them though they cut me, I hold them though they pass right through my fingers, bleeding right through my open hands, because they're all I have of you in these abandoned lands. I hold broken promises, I hold them to my chest. I hold them like a lover, I hold them like a guest who overstay their welcome, but I can't ask them to leave, cause broken promises are all I have to believe. All I have to believe. All I have to believe. I remember how you held me like I was made of glass, like if you held too tightly I might shatter and not last. But love doesn't break from holding, that's not how it goes. Love breaks from the silence, from the things nobody knows. We didn't have a fight, we didn't have a fall, we just slowly became strangers, not nothing left to call. You were there, then you were fading like a figure in the haze, and I'm left here in the kitchen staring blankly through the days. I reached out to grab you, but my hands passed through the air. There was nothing left to hold on to, there was nothing there. You didn't burn out blazing, you didn't crash and burn, you just drifted into nothing. And I never learned, and love faded like smoke through fingers and through air, like a cigarette forgotten, burning slow without a care. One breath you were beside me, the next you were a ghost, just a ring of ash and memory, the thing I miss the most. Love faded like smoke, no warning, no goodbye, just a haze upon the ceiling, drifting in the sky. And I'm left here coughing, choking on the air, wondering if you were ever really there. through the air. Just a vague and ghostly memory of whispering your name. I keep searching for the spark, I keep looking for the glow, but the only thing remaining is the smoke, and I don't know if I'm mourning you or mourning what I thought we'd always be, or just mourning the destruction of believing in forever. So carelessly, like I'm afraid of life's love. Were you ever really there? Were you ever really there? I can see the light through your hands now. Where you used to be solid, you're somehow becoming see-through, becoming air. And I'm grasping at nothing, but I'm standing right there. Your touch used to weigh me down to the bed. Now it brushes my skin and then disappears instead. I trace the outline of where you used to be, but the shape keeps on changing, keeps on slipping from me. We used to be a hurricane, now we're just a breeze. We used to be the forest, now we're just the leaves. I'm watching us unravel, thread by thread by thread, lying in the shadow of the words we left unsaid. And love feels thin now, like paper in the rain, like a photograph dissolving, like a song I can't explain. I can almost see right through it, I can almost touch the other side, and I'm holding on so tightly, but there's nothing left to hide. Love feels thin now, threadbare and worn, like the softest, saddest fabric from the day that we were born. And it's tearing at the edges and it's fading in the light. Love feels thin now, and it's keeping me up at night. I remember when your love was a coat against a cold, so heavy and so warm, it made me feel I was bold. Now it's just a scarf I wrap around my neck too tight. It doesn't keep the chill out, it just reminds me of the bite. I hold our conversations up against the fading sun, and I see the holes appearing where the meaning used to run. We talk about the weather, we talk about the day, but the thing we're not discussing is slowly drifting away. We used to be a hurricane, now we're just a breeze. And just couldn't see. Blinded by the weight of what I wanted us to be. Maybe love is just a breath held tight inside the chest, and eventually it has to leave. Eventually it has to rest. But I'm not ready for the rest, and I'm not ready for the air. I'm not ready for the nothing, for the silence, for the bear. I want the way back, I want the pull, I want the love that made me full. I want it thick and warm and deep. Not this fragile thing I have to keep. Not this fragile thing I have to keep. Because love feels thin now, like paper in the rain, like a photograph dissolving, like a song I can't explain. I can almost see right through it. I can almost touch the other side, and I'm holding on so tightly, but there's nothing left to hide. Love feels thin now. Love feels thin now, and it's keeping me up at night. Keeping me up at night. I remember how you looked at me that final afternoon. The light was soft and golden, like the petals of a bloom. You smiled in that quiet way you always smiled before, but something in the shadow said you weren't mine anymore. We didn't speak of endings, we didn't speak of change. We just watched the sky turn colors, watched the light rearrange. And I felt it in the silence, like a canvas coming clean. The slow and gentle fading of everything we've been. Like indigo at sunset, like the ocean meeting sky. I watched our love transform and then just drift away and die. Not with thunder, not with fire, just a quiet shifting hue. The moment that I realized I was losing you, and love melts into blue, like watercolors in the rain. The sharp and brilliant red we were, it never stays the same. It bleeds into the twilight, it fades into the deep. The color of the memory that wakes me from my sleep. Love melts into blue. a sentence. When the silence took its seat, you were reaching for my hand. I was melting in the heat of a moment that felt different, like the world had pressed pause, like the universe was listening, like there were no more lies. Your eyes were locked on mine, and your lips were parted wide, but the words just hung between us. They had no place to hide, and I thought, this is forever, this is where we're meant to stay. But forever turned to never when you looked away. And the pause stretched into minutes, into hours, into days, into everything I've said, into a million different ways. I could have reached across the space and pulled you back to me, but I stayed frozen in the silence, and you stayed frozen quietly. And love paused between us in the space we couldn't cross. In the breath we both felt captive in the air. Everything we lost, it hung there like a question that neither dared to ask. Suspended in the amber of a moment meant to last. Love paused between us, and it never hit play. It just stayed there frozen, slowly fading away, slowly fading away. I still think about that moment when the traffic lights are red, when the world is briefly silent, and the thoughts creep in my head. I wonder what you would have said if I had let you speak. If the pause was just a comma, or the ending that we seek. I rehearse 1,000 answers, I imagine all your words, I pretend that what came after was just something I inferred. But the pause is all that's left now, the only thing that's true. The frozen space between us, where I'm still waiting for you. And the pause stretched into minutes, into hours, into days. And love paused between us in the space we couldn't cross. They say that love is motion, that it moves or it decays. A standing still is just another slower kind of fade. But our love didn't move forward, and it didn't fall apart. It just hung there in the silence, frozen in my heart. I visited sometimes at night, when the world is fast asleep. I stand before the moment, and I quietly weep, because I know I'll never know who waited on your breath. Just the pause and then the silence, and the lasting taste of death. The just stayed there frozen, slowly fading away, slowly fading away. Life paused between us, and it never hit play. Without a warning, on an ordinary day, not a knock upon the door, not a word you'd say. It was softer than the morning light that fell across your skin, a feeling that began to bloom, quiet from within. I didn't hear it coming, I didn't sense the shift, just a tenderness that grew into a gentle wordless gift. You looked at me a little longer, held my hand a little more, and love whispered something I've been waiting for. Spoken tones I never heard, and languages beyond the word. It promised everything and more, then slipped out through an open door. Love whispered and left, like a secret on the air, like a promise that was never meant to stay, just meant to tear a hole inside the quiet, where the echo could reside, a hollow in the heart, where all the missing loves hide. Love whispered and left, didn't shout, didn't fight, just faded with the fading of the day into the night. And I've left it with the silence, with the ghost of what it said, with the memory of a whisper living in my head. I trace the shape of where you sat, the hollow in the couch. I swear I still can feel the warmth, the weight of every touch. But love doesn't live in furniture, it doesn't live in things. It lives in the vibration that a passing moment brings. And yours is gone so quiet now, I strain to hear the sound, but the only thing that answers is the silence all around. I press my ear against the past, I listen for the hum, but the whisper that I fell for is already gone now. Spoken tones I never the sound of what you wish would stay. But I built a world around that sound, I built it in my chest. And now the only arcs that shit you left is the unrest, is the quiet, is the waiting, is the listening for a sound that left so very quietly, never stuck around, never stuck around. Inside the fire, where the echo could reside. like it remembers where you've been. I touch the space beside my bed where late night words were once said. Now every dream just fades apart like distance living in my heart. I never thought love could feel like something time could slowly steal. Not broken, not completely gone, just drifting quietly alone. I don't cry like I used to do, but something in me lost you. My heart feels distant, like a star across the sky, still shining somewhere far away, fading from my eyes. My heart feels distant from the girl I used to be, when love was close enough to hold and hope was easy to believe. I move through days like passing rain, soft reflections, gentle pain. People speak, the world goes on, but part of me feels withdrawn. The violin begins to cry, like it knows the reason why. Some loves fade without a sound, just slowly settle into the ground. I don't blame the way we change. Some dreams aren't meant to stay the same. The seasons move, the air grows thin, and hearts learn how to live again. But sometimes when the night is still, I feel the ghost of what was real. A warmth that time could not erase, just moving at a slower pace. I let the quiet fill the room, like a quiet, gentle bloom. My heart feels distant, like an ocean far from shore, still holding waves of memory, but not reaching you anymore. My heart feels distant, yet it's beating soft and true, learning how to live again without the sound of you. If love was fire, this is the glow, the fading light of long ago. The beat drops low, my breath runs slow, and I accept what I now know. My heart feels distant, but it's learning how to heal. Not forgetting what we had, just understanding what was real. My heart feels distant, yet it still believes somehow that one day it will find its way back to where it's standing now. It didn't happen in a moment, didn't crash like waves on stone. It wasn't one cruel word or the night you stayed alone. It was slower than the winter, softer than the falling snow. The way we stopped revealing what we needed each to know. At first it was discomfort, the quiet between the words, the kind of peaceful silence that exists between two birds. But somewhere it grew heavier, somewhere it turned cold. The quiet that once held us became the quiet that controlled. I thought we were still talking, I thought we were still fine. I didn't notice all the words we left behind until I looked across the table and saw a stranger's face in the silence of our favorite place. And the silence grew slowly, like ivy on the wall, quietly, politely, until it covered all. It didn't make a sound when it stole your voice from me. It just grew between us so softly, so gently. Our silence grew slowly and I never saw it come. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of a love that came undone by the quiet, by the quiet, by the quiet, by the quiet, by the quiet. I remember when your laughter filled this house like morning sun, when every thought inside your head became a story to be sung. We talked about the future like it lived inside our hands. We talked about the past like we were building new lands. And then one day I noticed that the story stopped appearing, and the questions I would ask you met with answers less than clearing. I filled the space with chatter, with the noise of daily things, but silence is a vine that grows no matter what you bring. I thought we were still talking, I thought we were still fine, and our silence grew slowly, like ivy on the wall. And our silence grew slowly, like ivy on the wall. I tried to break it open, I tried to find the words. I screamed into the quiet like screaming into birds. They just scatter and return when the echo fades away, and the silence settles thicker than the day before today. If you had screamed or cursed me, if you had slammed the door, I know that something mattered, I know there was a war. But silence is a gentler death, a fading of the light. You don't know you're dying till you're already gone from sight, already gone from sight. Because the silence grew slowly, like ivy on the wall, quietly, politely, until it covered all. It didn't make a sound when it stole your voice from me. It just grew between us so softly, so gently. Our silence grew slowly and I never saw it come. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of a love that came undone by the quiet, by the quiet, by the quiet, by the quiet, by the quiet. Our silence grew slowly, and it killed us quietly. The world expects a wound to heal, to close up with the days, to pack its bags and leave behind no permanent malaise. But my wound doesn't bleed out, it doesn't show its face. It just lives beneath my skin, in every single place. I wake up and it's waiting like a guest who overstayed, who sits beside me quietly and never is afraid to watch me try to function, to pretend that I'm okay, while it whispers in a language only I can hear decay. It doesn't scream, it doesn't cry, it doesn't beg for reasons why. It just exists, a constant weight that tells me this might be my fate. And the quiet pain feels endless, like a river with no end, a friend who never leaves you, a wound that won't mend. It doesn't make a sound will turn and I see people fall in love. I see the moon still rising, I see the stars above. And I wonder if they see me, this girl who's standing still, trapped inside a moment that she doesn't have the will to climb out of, to fight against, to leave behind for good, the way a person should, the way a person could. But the pain is so familiar now, it's like an old embrace, and I'm scared of who I'd be without his quiet, steady face. It doesn't scream, it doesn't cry. The quiet pain feels endless, like a river with no that grief will learn to bend, that what begins as agony will fade into a friend. But my pain doesn't wanna be my friend, it wants to be my skin. It wants to be the air I breathe, the place I've always been. I've tried to push it out the door, I've tried to set it free, but it just sits there on the floor and stares right back at me, and stares right back at me. Because the quiet pain feels endless, like a river with no end, a friend who never leaves you, a wound that won't mend. It doesn't make a sound, but it's the loudest in the room. It's the shadow that I carry, it's my permanent glue. Quiet pain feels endless, and endless feels like me, like I was born to carry what I'll never be set free from, never be set free. Quiet pain feels endless. Set free. It didn't leave with thunder, it didn't go with rain, it didn't scream my name out loud or cause me any pain. Not at first, at least not until I woke one day and reached for you in habit where your warmth had always lay. But the sheets were cold and empty, and the space beside me bare, and the only thing that lingered was your perfume in the air. I tried to catch it, hold it, pull it back into my lungs, but soft love doesn't wait around for where the heart belongs. It was gentle in its leaving, like a whisper in the hall, so quiet I convinced myself you hadn't left at all. But gentle doesn't mean it stays, and quiet doesn't mean it's there. And soft love is the hardest kind to know was ever there. And the soft love slipped away like water through my hands, like sand beneath the ocean, like footprints in the sand. It didn't fight, it didn't shout, it didn't make a sound. It just folded into silence and dissolved into the ground. Soft love slipped away. I remember how you'd hold me not tight, just there, like I was something precious that you wanted to protect with care. You traced along my fingers like you had all the time in the world, and I thought that kind of softness meant forever was unfurled. But forever isn't measured in the gentleness of touch. It's measured in the mornings when the quiet is too much, when you reach out for a hand to learn to let go quietly and realize that softness was just saying goodbye to me. It was gentle and it's leaving like a whisper in the heart, and the soft love slipped away like water through my hands. I've been trying to be angry, I've been trying to find the blame. Something hard to hold on to, something sharp to curse its name. But there's no fight to refight, no cruel words to unhear. Just the absence of your warmth, just the fading of your near. And that's the cruelest part of all. When love is soft and true, it doesn't leave a scar. You see, it just stops being you. It just stops being you. Because the soft love slipped away like water through my hands, like sand beneath the ocean, like footprints in the sand. It didn't fight, it didn't shout, it didn't make a sound. It just folded into silence and dissolved into the ground. Soft love slipped away, and I didn't even know that something so damn gentle could cut me this time. Soft love slipped away. Soft love slipped away. Slipped away. Slipped away. Slipped away. The world is sleeping soundly, but I'm wide awake again, counting all the reasons, counting all the ways it ends. A pillow knows my secrets, it's soaked with all my tears. It's held me through the months now, and through the passing years. I pull the covers tighter, but the cold still seeps right through. The cold of empty spaces, the cold of missing you. The street light through the curtain paints shadows on the wall, and I swear I see your outline, but there's nothing there at all. The night is meant for resting, for dreams of golden days, but mine are filled with memories that time cannot erase. I reach across the mattress to where you used to lie, and find just cold and silence and the sound of my own sigh. And soft nights cry alone in the quiet after midnight, when the moon is high and the world has turned out all its light. Soft nights cry alone Maybe someday the darkness won't feel like an enemy. Maybe someday the silence will learn to set me free. But tonight it holds me hostage. Tonight it knows my name. Tonight the soft night cries alone and whispers yours just the same. I talk to the ceiling, I talk to the moon. I ask him when the hurting ends, I ask him coming soon. But the ceiling doesn't answer and the moon just hides his face. And the soft night wraps around me in its cold and empty embrace. Soft nights cry alone in the quiet after midnight, when the moon is high and the world has turned out all its lights. Soft nights cry alone with nobody here to hold, just the echoes of a love that's grown so cold. I pull the silence round me like a blanket made of pain, and I let the soft nights cry alone again. Soft nights cry alone. Soft nights cry alone again. We used to walk through nights like this, barefoot dreams, a borrowed kiss. Your jacket warm around my skin, while summer rain cooled us in. We laughed at storms, we chased the sky. Never thought to ask it why. Love felt easy, light and free, like rain across a restless sea. The violin bends soft and slow, like a truth I always know, that time can move and people change, but some feelings still remain. I've learned to live with open hands, to let go of what love demands. Yet every time the clouds appear, your quiet voice feels very near. I don't reach out, I don't call, but the rain remembers it all. Soft rain reminds me of the way you held my hand, of the nights we thought forever, something we had planned. Soft rain reminds me of a love so soft and true. I move on, but every storm still whispers back to you. I walk alone beneath the streetlights, shimmering in midnight blues. Each reflection on the pavement feels like pieces of our truth. Your laughter hides in distant thunder, rolling gently through my chest. Not a pain that pulls me under, just a memory at rest. The violin begins to cry like it knows the reason why. Some goodbyes don't break your heart, they slowly teach you where you start. I don't wish to turn around or search for what we never found. Some loves bloom and drift away like rain that only comes to stay. I let the moment pass me through, but the rain still speaks of you. Soft rain reminds me of the way your eyes would shine. drops low, I close my eyes, let the memory pass me by. Somewhere in another sky, you might hear the same soft cry. Soft rain reminds me not of loss, but of the start of the girl I used to be, with a fearless open heart. Soft rain reminds me love was real, and that's enough, even if it couldn't stay. It once was soft and full of It doesn't come with thunder, it doesn't bring the rain, it doesn't crash and shatter or leave a mark of pain. It comes the way the evening does, so softly and so slow, a gentle gray that fills the sky before you even know. I'll be going through my day, and the sun will start to dim, not because the light has changed, but because I think of him. And a quiet kind of sorrow settles softly in my chest, not heavy, not demanding, just a guess that never rests. It's not the kind of sad that makes you scream or cry. It's the kind that makes you stare at nothing, wondering why. It's the kind that sits beside you on the couch at night and holds your hand so gently that it almost feels polite. And soft sadness fills me, like water finding low, like fog that rolls in silently, with nowhere else to go. It doesn't break me, doesn't shake me, doesn't leave a scar. It just fills the empty spaces of whoever you once are. Soft sadness fills me, and I let it have its way, 'cause fighting it would only make it stay. It's the only part of you I have since you've been gone. So soft sadness fills me, and I just carry on. I just carry on. I found an old photograph tucked inside a book. Your smile was soft and easy, like the way I used to look at you before I knew that love could end without a sound. Before I learned that happiness can quietly drown. I traced your face with my finger, and I felt the strangest thing. Not the sharp and sudden sorrow that heartbreak tends to bring, just a warm and gentle ache, like an old and trusted friend who comes to sit beside me when the day begins to end. It's not the kind of sad that makes you scream or cry. And soft sadness fills me, like water finding low. Sometimes I think I should be invited it to stay. It's the soft and gentle shadow of a love that couldn't stay. It's the only way I still feel close to what we used to be. So soft, sadness fills me, and it's almost comforting. It's almost comforting because soft sadness fills me, like water finding love, like fog that rolls in silently with nowhere else to go. It doesn't break me, doesn't shake me, doesn't leave a scar. It just fills the empty spaces of whoever you once are. Soft sadness fills me and I let it have its way, 'cause fighting it would only make it stay. It's the only part of you I have since you've been gone. So soft sadness fills me, and I just carry on. I just carry on. Soft sadness fills me. I just carry on. I walk through days like nothing's wrong, smile along to passing songs, but every melody I hear still bends a little when you're near. Your laughter lives in distant tones between the spaces of my phone. Old messages I never erase, little shadows of your face. The bass beats soft beneath my chest, a quiet ache that will not rest. It doesn't break, it doesn't scream, it lingers gently in between. I thought the silence would be kind, the time would calm this heart of mine. But every night I learn again, some echoes never truly end. I don't call out your name anymore, but I still listen at the door. I'm still missing your voice tonight, soft like rain and fading light. Every word you used to say still finds its way through the dark, through the noise. I'm still missing your voice, missing your voice. I hear it when the wind moves slow through open windows late and low, like the world remembers too, how your sounds fill my room. I try to bury what we were in quiet days that felt secure, but certain songs, certain skies still bring that sound back to life. The violin begins to cry like it knows the reason why. Some goodbyes don't fully close, they just soften as time goes. I'm not the girl I was back then, I've learned to stand alone again, but pieces of you still rejoice inside the memory of your voice. I don't wait for you to return, but some fires quietly burn. I'm still missing your voice tonight, floating through the pale moonlight. Every laugh, every choice still lives inside that voice, through the calm, through the noise. I'm still missing your voice, I'm still missing your voice. If love was sound and never fades, it drifts through time in softer shades. I let it pass, I let it be, a quiet song inside of me. The beat drops low, my breathing slows. I close my eyes, the memory flows. Not pain, not loss, not empty space, just your echo I embrace. I'm still missing your voice tonight, but I'm learning to be alright. Every echo, every choice made me stronger than the noise. Through the dark, through the noise, I'm still missing your voice. You never left a storm behind, no shattered glass, no angry signs, just gentle spaces where you stay like fading colors in the shade. I walk the halls we used to shade, still feel your warmth inside the air. Your coffee cup, the chair you use, small reminders I can't refuse. The bass hums low beneath my chest, a quiet ache I've come to accept. Not heavy, not too hard to bear, just proof that you were once right there. The violin bends soft and slow like the truth I've come to know. Some love the parts without a fight, like sunset slipping into night. You didn't slam the door goodbye, you just let time pass by. You left soft footsteps in my heart, quiet echoes in the dark. No loud goodbye, no shattered scene, just spaces where you used to be. You left soft footsteps in my days, in silent rooms, in gentle ways. And even now I sometimes feel the calm of something once so real. I try to clean the memories out, but they return without a sound. Not sharp enough to make me cry, just drifting like a passing sky. Your laugh still hides in distant songs, and late night drives that feel too long. A fragile warmth inside my chest, like love that learned to rest. I'm not angry, not afraid of the path that love once made. Some stories fade without regret, they just become what we accept. The violin cries and fades away, like the words we didn't say. And though your hand is not in mine, the memory feels kind. I don't chase what had to leave, I just let my heart believe. You left soft footsteps in my soul, gentle traces I still hold. No bitter taste, no blame to keep, just quiet love beneath the deep. You left soft footsteps in my mind, a tender past, a softer time. And when the night feels warm and still, I feel those footsteps lingering still. If love was when you passed through me, soft and wild and quietly free. Now I'm meant to stay forever here, belong enough to disappear. The beat drops low, my breath is calm. No broken heart, no hidden harm, just a memory dressed in light, walking softly through the night. You left soft footsteps in my life, not a wound, not a knife, just a path where love once grew, a quiet place that leads to you. You left soft footsteps in the air, in every dream that lingers there. And though you I swear I just blinked and a decade disappeared. We were young and reckless, we had nothing left to fear. You were painting constellations on the ceiling of my room, mapping out a future that would bloom and bloom and bloom. I held you in the present, I thought I held you tight, but time is just a river running in the night. And I woke up one morning to a stranger in your place, with the ghost of your smile still fading on your face. I reached out to grab you, but my hands passed through the air. You slipped through time like water through my hands, like morning mist dissolving over unfamiliar lands. I tried to hold the moments, I tried to make them stay, but time just kept on moving, washing you away. You slipped through time, and I'm standing still, watching the clock forget the shape of your will. You slipped through time, and all I have is now and a photograph of them, wondering how, wondering how. I found an old mixtape you made me in the spring, when love was just beginning and the future was a win. We thought we'd carry us forever through the endless sky, before we learned that forever is a beautiful lie. I played it in the darkness and your voice came through the static, so young, so sure, so hopeful, so dramatically dramatic. And I laughed until I cried, and I cried until I smiled at the girl you used to love and the man who ran wild. I reached out to grab you, but my hands passed through the air. You slipped through time like water through my hands, like morning mist dissolving, bending through the earth. They say that time is precious, so you should hold it close, but time is just a thief, baby, that takes the ones you love the most. It steals the way you laugh, it steals the way you move, it steals the memory of how deeply we were grooves. I try to freeze the moments, I try to make them last, but time just keeps on slipping, a future becoming past. And one day I'll be nothing but a whisper in the air, and you'll be somewhere else, baby, already there, already there. Because you slipped through time like water through my hands, like morning mist dissolving over unfamiliar lands. I try to hold the moments, I try to make them stay, but time just kept on moving, washing you away. You slipped through time, and I'm standing still, watching the clock forget the shape of your will. You slipped through time, and all I have is now and a photograph of them, wondering how. You slipped through time. Before you, I was static, I was noise inside my head, a radio that couldn't find a frequency, so it played dread instead. I filled the quiet with distraction, sin with sound, afraid of what the stillness might reveal when no one's around. Then you walked in so gently, you didn't make a fuss. You just sat beside the static and you waited there for us. You didn't try to fix me, you didn't try to save. You just became the silence that I'd always been afraid. I learned to rest inside you. I learned to let my guard fall down. Didn't know peace could leave, I didn't know peace could drown. You were my peace, my quiet in the noise, the only place I didn't have to fake my voice. You were the pause between the panic and the fear, the gentle proof that someone safe was near. And now the noise is back, and it's deafening and cruel. 'Cause you were my peace and peace was you. Peace was you. I walk through crowded rooms now, and I feel them closing in. A million conversations, a million ways to pretend. I smile and nod and function. I play the role they need, but inside I'm screaming for the quiet that you'd breathe. You had a way of looking at me that would slow the world right down, like time itself was honored just to watch us stick around. And now time just races past me, a blur I can't escape, chasing seconds, chasing minutes, chasing any shape of the peace I used to know. And I learned to rest inside you. You were my peace, my quiet in the noise, the only place I didn't have to fake my voice. You were the pause between the panic and the fear, the gentle proof that someone safe was near. And now the noise is back, and it's deafening and cruel. 'Cause you were my peace and peace was you. I tried to find another silence, I tried to find the still. I went to empty cathedrals, I stood on silent hills, but the quiet there was different. It didn't have your face, it was just an empty echo of a sacred empty space. Because peace was never places, peace was never calm, peace was just the way you